Hello everyone, welcome back to another video on the channel. So today we are doing Barrow number 19, I believe it is, episode 19, and we've got some huge games in this one. I thought this would be a good opportunity to sort of, because we're midway through the season-ish with in the Championship, and we've obviously had quite a bit of progression from the League Two season that we were at a couple of seasons ago. So I thought I'd take a little stock check on this one. You can see whereabouts we're at. Aston Villa absolutely running away with the league. Even 16 games played, they're 15 points ahead, which is just an absolute madness. And then we're in the chasing pack for the automatics and the playoff places. It's currently sat in 4th. Derby above us, who will play in this episode, and then there's a couple of other people like Bournemouth that I think are sat in 8th at this point. They might even be in 7th at this point in this one, but when we play them, they're in 8th. There's a couple of the really big games as well. Obviously, we do, as I mentioned, that Aston Villa team, we do come up against those as well. So some huge games in this episode, which I will show you in a bit. But before we do that, I just wanted to show you exactly where we're at with the team compared to episode 1. Well, I say actually episode 1. This was episode 3, and this was the point where I feel like we got the team together. Episode 1 was obviously just a lot of Barrow players. We hadn't made many transfers. In this instance, here is the team as they were then, and you can see where we're at now. So just a quick rundown in a comparison. Obviously, Quigley up from I think we had Quigley and James at that point. Lana was, from what I can remember, he was about 62 rated when we bought him. He's obviously now 76, as you can see. Robson is a young player who we brought through, so I guess he took the place of Beedling in midfield. Musiala has gone from 61 to 77. That's a huge jump. And then to rival those huge jumps, I guess the two wingers, Dembele from 63 up to 79, and Apaya up from 64 to 81. Our best player at the moment. So some crazy jumps from those guys. Really, really good to see. And I think I've shown you this before, but they have the potential to reach 90 plus. And then we've got Butler, who's also a player with potential to reach 90 plus, goes from 61 to 79, so a big jump from him. And we've got Burns, who is a Barrow player, like an actual Barrow player still, and he's gone impressively actually from 65 to 74, so he's a mainstay in our team, which I've been really impressed with. And then we've got Abiru Mibi, who went from a 60 rated 72, so his progression slightly slower, but still very impressive. Like, that's only over 2 seasons, I think, 2.5. So yeah, very, very impressive growth from Ari Mibi as well, from 60 to 72. And then you've got a fairly new centre-back in Harwood Bellis. And Platt has got up to 60, I believe it's 66 rated, 67. But he seems to have plateaued somewhat, because he's a bit older than the rest of them. He has plateaued somewhat. His progression's not been very good this season. And then obviously Intel we've sold now, but he's been replaced with Mendes Vice. And then Dixon has come in. Dixon's come in. Dixon was the old goalkeeper, 59 rated, so he was probably one of the main ones that needed to be upgraded. He wasn't going anywhere in terms of rating. He was kind of stuck around that sort of low 60s region. So we did buy in Basnu, and Basnu last season, if you remember, was an absolute machine. So I'm glad we have picked up the young Irish lad. So just a quick comparison between the two teams. Obviously there was going to be progression because this is a career mode. There's going to be progression, and obviously we've gone from League Two to Championship, so there's always going to be progression. What I've been quite impressed with is the amount of players that, if you look on there, that we've actually taken. Lana did come in, I'm pretty sure, during that season. It's just he's not in that episode 3 team. He came a couple of episodes later. But I'm just quite impressed with the amount of players we've taken from that League 2 team, with the likes of Butler, Apaya, Dembele, Lana, obviously Musiala, all those players, and they've all come through and doing jobs for us in the Championship, which is really impressive. Hopefully they can carry on in the Premier League as well. So anyways, that's just an overview of where we're at in terms of the team. So I thought I'd show you that before we get into some actual games. And the first game, as I mentioned earlier, is up against Derby. Derby obviously being real close to us in the league, also fighting for the automatics. But we do go 1-0 up really early on with Butler. Butler actually gets quite a few goals in this episode. He becomes more of like a Yaya Toure type player, which is pretty good to see. A really nice ball there from Lana that goes to Apaya. And he then slots it home just to celebrate the fact that he is now 81 rated, which is absolutely incredible. Like, he's a good gold card on Ultimate Team. And that's where that stays at 2-0 with Derby. So we win that game fairly comfortably. And then we come up against Preston. Preston. Preston, I think, from what I remember, they're 12th in the league, so they're not doing badly. They're not doing great. They're not doing badly. But they go 1-0 up against us quite early on, and then we get a goal back to make it 1-1. I believe through I thought it was through Lana, but yeah, it's through Lana. Just as he does, he scores a lot of goals for us. It's no surprise to see him scoring for us again. I don't know if I show this, but at the end of the episode, he is the top goal scorer in the league. When is he ever not? He's the first guy to reach 10 goals, but I think he's on 13 now. And then Butler gets another goal for us in this episode before another Preston goal annoyingly equalises for them in the 70th minute. And then right towards the end, they score to win. So that's really, really annoying because they were probably like the lowest in the league team, but the team we've lost against. So that's kind of frustrating. And then we come against the big dogs, Aston Villa, who are absolutely wrecking through the Championship. But we go 1-0 up through Butler. Happy days. They do then equalise though through Ollie Watkins, who in real life is absolutely tearing it up. Fair play to him in real life. The things he's achieving with an Aston Villa team is absolutely incredible. And then Ollie Watkins does provide the assist for them to score again through Eggstein to make it 2-1. Then we pull one back, I believe, again through Jack Lana. Nice ball through from Butler. Butler to Jack Lana is becoming a real avenue for us, which is great to see. And then we do actually score in the 82nd minute, I believe it is. Yeah, 82nd minute to make it 3-2. Apai getting the goal there. He's popping up with some crucial goals now. It's good to see him starting to score some more goals for us. And then right at the end, I just wanted to show that there was a good bit of defending right at the end there, and it remained 3-2. So we beat them. We beat the team that seems unstoppable in this league so far. And then we just did some stuff I just wanted to show you where we just fixed some contracts. I thought I'd leave this in as a little bit of a break. So to recap, we've had some real big games in this. Derby, Aston Villa being two of them. There's one more coming up. We've won both of those games, which is really impressive, but we lost annoyingly against the team that was quite further down. And what's quite annoying is right now, well, it's not really annoying, it's just it is, but it's so tight up there. It's similar to what's happening in the Premier League at the minute, where it's so tight up there that one win, one loss can take you from, I don't know, like second all the way down to like sixth. It's a real roller coaster ride at the minute. And then we do get into the game against Bournemouth, who are, as I mentioned, sat at this time they're sat at 8th. They were sat at 7th before. So, anyways, so we come up against them. I was really worried about this game because Bournemouth obviously being, I know in this game this is 2 seasons ahead, but in real life being a fairly recent Premier League team, I was a little bit worried that they would have a lot of really good players. They do have some good players. They have Solanke, they have Brooks. Billing, I think, is actually quite good now on this. But then for some reason we were just able to absolutely tear them apart, going 2-0 up in just before half time through Dembele, and then in the second half we just carry on that domination, to be fair. We then score at the end of this move. I can't remember exactly who scores, but notice the amount of space, there you go, notice the amount of space there that it was Robson was allowed. That's wild. Like, they got drawn out so easily, and you'll see again here, they get drawn out so easily. They look at the amount of space that Dembele's got to run. It's ridiculous. So 80th minute we go 4-0 up. And that's what's going to happen if you've got pace in the team. We can just do stuff like that. We can catch people like that. And look at the domination there: 59% possession, 8 shots, 6 on target, or 6 chances rather, and 4 goals scored. So that is actually all the games that we had for December. You can see an upcoming fixture against Sheffield Wednesday, which is a bit of a personal one for me because that's the team I actually support in real life. So don't worry though, I'm still going to try and smash them. I still need to reach. You can see there we're just 1 point below Reading on the 20th game played, which is it's a really tight up there. Derby County, as you can see, they're slipping right way down to 6th, as I mentioned earlier. It's a real struggle if you just lose one game. Anyways, that will do for this episode. Thanks so much for watching, and as I promised, this is a double upload of Barrow Career Mode because I'm well aware that I did neglect it for a couple of weeks. So I'm going to carry on cracking on with this in the background and uploading it as I can, but I'm well aware that we're in February at the minute, and I had to check the date then. We're in February at the minute, and we're only in the Championship, and I've got ambitions for this to reach the Champions League, so I need to crack on with it. I'm well aware, but we're still on track. Like, we're still on schedule. It's all good. It's just I want to get it in before the Euros and stuff like that, because who the hell plays FIFA at that point? But anyways, thanks so much for watching. See ya.